So I just got back from literally one of the most intense photo shoots I've ever been on. So before I went on the trip, I posted a picture while I was at the airport of like an airplane. I was like, where do you guys think I'm going? And everyone started like posting like, you're going to Hawaii, you're going to a warm place, you're going to a place that definitely isn't Gimli, Manitoba, which is where I went to. I went to Gimli, Manitoba, which is in the middle of Canada, and it was negative 30 degrees, and I was on the middle of a frozen lake. But we did this, and this was pretty cool. So as some of you know, I shoot for the car company that you might have heard of, Mercedes-Benz, and they set up a racetrack on a frozen lake in Gimli, Manitoba. So you're probably thinking, Chris, you're on a frozen lake. Won't you fall through the ice with these cars? Well, in Gimli, Manitoba, the ice is 5 feet thick. And you could land a 747 jumbo jet if you wanted to on it. You could actually land the jet, deliver the cars by the jumbo jet, and then have it like take off. That's not what they did, but it'd be pretty cool though. So the racetrack that they build out here on the lake is actually the largest in North America. And it's like multiple tracks, but when you combine them together, it becomes the White Hell, which is just like this crazy track in the middle of a frozen lake that only lasts for 6 weeks. So they ship out all these Mercedes-Benz cars. Specifically, they ship out the CLA 45 4MATIC, that's the official name of it, C63S and the E63S, which is a 500 horsepower car and a 600 horsepower car, and the whole goal of the entire program is to just like drift and go sideways the entire time. Oh look, I got a snowflake in my eye. So while I was at this event, I think I like took my favorite car photo I've ever taken in my entire life. And I want to share with you the steps that I kind of implemented to get this photo that you guys can use on any of your future shoots. And it doesn't have to be car related specifically. It can apply to any photography shoot. You just gotta have to like go through these tips. So tip number one, let's get into it. Tip number one is to essentially push harder than your expectations. So going into this contract, I kind of had like, oh, you need to get this shot, this type of shot, and this type of shot. But that did not include waking up at sunrise and trying to get like the whole team together so that we can get this specific photo. So in this location, I just utilized the resources that were around me so that I could actually like take my photography to the next level. So tip number two is to just straight up ask. I remember being in the boardroom with like all the drivers and we were planning out like how the rest of the event was going, and I was like, hey, who wants to wake up at sunrise tomorrow and go shoot cars in the lake to get some good photos? And no one put their hand up. But I've also built a relationship with the people of this team, this driving team. And I said, hey, Pat, Jerry, like, would you mind? It would be great if we could actually get these shots. And like, yeah, no problem. So we actually got up that morning, and that's how that shot came together. So building relationships with people, but also just straight up asking so that you can get your job done too. My next tip is to plan. So previous to waking up at sunrise, I kind of knew the exact spot on the lake that I wanted to shoot. And that spot was where all the fishing huts were, because it's a unique thing to that location. How awesome would it be if the cars ripping by during sunrise with the fishing huts in the background? So thinking about your shot beforehand, envisioning what it's gonna look like, and then executing it, losing my voice, I'm gonna like eat snow. Executing it on the day of. All right, the next thing is to make sure you have all your gear ready. So I used my Sony A9 with a 24 to 70 mil f2.8 lens. And when I was out on the lake, this camera setting specifically that I used for this were shutter speed 1/320, f16 because I was shooting directly into the sun and I wanted this kind of like giant sunbursty kind of look. So it's called Sunny 16, where like all the lights and the sun are just like shooting out like rays. And then I shot around like ISO 400 to balance all of that out. And then I took 255 photos, and that's the one I used. So also fun fact, other than just the photo shoot, Mercedes-Benz asked, hey, do you actually want to like drive these cars and go drifting? And of course the obvious answer is absolutely. And they're like, you should bring a friend. So I called up Jesse Driftwood, kind of like worked out for his name, Driftwood, and then now he's the Jesse Drift King. So go check out his Instagram page because he made like a whole little video on it. I think it's in his like story highlights, so go check that out. But yeah, and we invited Jesse Driftwood along, and it was wild. Here's a little clip of us drifting actually. So Jesse and I are currently in the E63S. It's a 600 horsepower car. That's way too much horsepower for us to be like trusted with at this point. So we have some cover-ups just in case we end up destroying it. So yeah, here we are now, incognito.
Now 600 horses and 2 cats.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, no, those are cones! No, not the cones! Drift, Jesse, Driftwood, drift! Oh, do you hear that engine sound? Yes, please. Yeah! Go! And now we're spinning. And we're in the, and we're covered in snow. Woo! Nice. Oh, you got this. Yeah! This is so good! Here we go. And
And that's a snowbank. Snowbank? Everyone asked. 2 cats jumped in the car and crashed it. Oh, that was such a great drift too.
So I was actually pretty nervous going into the event, not for like the photo shoot, but for actually like drifting these cars. When they like trust you with like $140,000 car with 600 horsepower on a frozen lake, you're like, I really don't want to damage this thing. So when I first got in the car, I was with the professional driver. She kind of gave me like a few instructions. She was amazing. And I actually got that car drifting. It was like the best feeling ever. Like all my anxiety went away and it was just like straight up adrenaline. I was just like, oh, like, the moment it happened, I was like, oh my God, I just drove like a 600 horsepower car for like 45 seconds, like sideways, like the whole time. And my mom was like, yeah, that's great. Are you done yet? So that was kind of like one of those experiences. It kind of pushes you outside of your comfort zone, but I'm so glad that they offered it to me. I know that Jesse also had a really great time. If you guys ever get the chance, 100p, put this on your bucket list. It is so much fun. That's not like a sponsored ad. They're not telling me to say all this stuff. In full transparency, going sideways in a $140,000 car is like a wild feeling. So if it is something that you can afford, please go and do it. It's awesome. Fun fact specifically about the tires that were being used during this course is that they actually are handmade by a couple in Sweden. Of course, it's Sweden where all the snow is. And they actually have little like spikes sticking out of it. And there's about 400 or so in each tire. So that's what like gives it the extra traction while you're on the ice. It's like, it's insane. Oh, hey, look, guys, it's my car. Should I start drifting in this thing? I feel like if I tried to drift in my 1998 Mercedes-Benz C230, which does not have 600 horsepower and it has beautiful rust spots on it, I would just break the whole entire car in like the first turn and just be like, and I'd be like, okay, I shouldn't have done that. All right, so here's my final note for you. I feel like before I get into the final note, I feel like everyone's just gonna be like, the hair was gone, not a real video, it was not a Chris Howe video, because his hair was back the entire time. Well, it's because it was wet, guys. Okay, there we go, hair is out. So here's my final note for you. If you find yourself on any type of shoot, push that much harder, because you can use those photos that you've taken to use in your portfolio to get better jobs and for your name to spread as a hard worker. Clients really like to work with people who are hardworking and nice. So if you can check mark those things, implement those like little tips that I just said, you're going to be successful and you're gonna get photos like the one that you saw in my thumbnail. And that's just something I'm really proud of. So go out there, go take photos that you're really proud of and go and land more clients. I know you guys can do it. If you guys like this video, please press like. It actually makes a difference. Subscribe, love for you to join along, and we're gonna catch you next time. Peace out, everybody. Woo!